Come here. Or don't. So, just as a dog has a species-specific diet, and he is eating these horrible man-created things, we too have a species-specific diet, but we choose to eat things that are not conducive to our species. It is obvious that when we go into nature, we should be able, our best foods should be those at which we don't have to do any processing, we don't have to do any cooking, and we don't have to do any extraneous work. And that means whatever we eat should be raw and should be delicious. And what falls under that category is fruit, which is the least damaging to or the least burdensome, the most fast food group. And then it would be leafy greens, such that as lettuce. Then it would be seeds and nuts. So the body has 125 trillion cells to some estimates, and all these cells are carrying on their own personal processes with thousands of organelles within each one of these cells, and communicating with each other. You know, I've heard that it's like 36,000 Earths working in unison. That's the extent of how complex and amazing the system inside of us is. No supercomputer could match the level of intellect, coding, you know, genetical ingenuity that is going on, information overload, really. Nothing, no technology that man creates, no method that man thinks of can outdo the greatness of the human organism. So we're getting to the crucial message here. The point of this video is that man's body is much more intelligent than what man thinks. We should trust the body, not our antics, not our methods. It is our methods, it is our antics, it is our straying away from the species-specific diet that is producing all of our ills, all of our sicknesses, all of our distress, all of our diseases. You know, what is really easy for the body is a fast. And then secondly, is these foods that do not irritate the body. Because the species-specific diet, the food is meant for that specific species. So, this means that again, man is causing his own suffering by living outside of the cosmic dictates, by leaving his boundaries of where he should be consuming from, where he should be dwelling. So, it would be much better if we just left the body alone. I've been, going around these different fasting centers in Korea, and all of them have all these stupid things, these extraneous things that just stimulate, agitate, and irritate the body. These, for instance, the latest one I went to, people are always drinking herb water, highly enervating. Other ones have this germ killer or this parasite cleanse. I mean, you're killing these things in the body, but you're not balancing and you're not corroborating these acts with the proper lifestyle. So it's more harmful than good, killing those parasites that are there for a reason. Everything your body does and allows is there for a reason. And at the same time, when the body is ready to eliminate something and kill something off, or when you get out of your own body's way, and when you fix the lifestyle such that the body can have an easier time doing its job of getting rid of all the poisons that you've stuffed in it, then it can finally do its job with ease and quickly. So, all these numerous processes these fasting centers are doing, whether it's ranging from it's cleanses to massage therapies to, you name it. There are so many different things these guys are doing. and different irritating and agitating foods these people are doing, like taking certain kinds of salt, because if you don't take salt, then you don't retain the water that you're drinking, so you have to take salt. But salt is in this inorganic form. It is actually a poison to the body. It's highly addictive. It's like a drug, because again, it's stimulating, and you get this false sense of energy, thinking, this energy is how I'm supposed to feel. But no, that energy is a short-lived delay and procrastination of your bodily detox, because your body now has to deal with newfound poisons, and so it's giving a false boost of energy. The hygiene books often say it's like whipping a horse when it is fatigued. Whipping the horse is not giving it more energy and not helping with his fatigue. Rather, it is further harming the horse and giving you a false sense of new energy. So what the horse really needs is rest, so it can rebuild its muscles and get stronger. In the same way, what the body really needs is not all these extraneous activities of the stupidity that comes from the stupidity of man's thinking. Rather, it needs time for recuperation, regeneration, and a rebuilding. And that can only happen in the absence of these irritating factors, in the absence of these enervating factors, in the absence of further addition of toxemia. So, again, man is neurotic and incessant in his ways of developing all these different kinds of methods to heal. You know, it's another form of an addiction, really. Just like cocaine, just like heroin, man is addicted to stimulating his nerves and stimulating his body. And in this overstimulation, he thinks that he is getting well. But know this, folks, he is not. Only when the stimulations come to an end can the body really focus. And yes, sometimes it's going to be hard. Yes, sometimes the detoxes, you're going to have no energy. You're going to have intense pain, because whatever went in has to come out. Just like Dr. Morse said. Even though Dr. Morse is using all these herbs, which are irritating and enervating, so they also will have to come out at some point. The causes that they are accumulating. And so, instead of using these alternative natural stimulants, the natural hygiene, the hygienic way to heal is without stimulants at all. So I want to remind you, whether it's herbs, whether it's these different kinds of salts, these sodiums. I mean, Santos Bonacci, I love the guy, but he would always talk about cell salts and isolated chemistry. Hello, God did not intend for your body to take isolated chemicals. God meant for you to take whole foods. Again, the species-specific diet dictates that we must take things in their whole genetic fashion. So that means not juicing either, or at least juicing very little, because the fiber slows down the food and does various things that allows our intestines to work on them as they should. So leave the body alone. Trust the body. And remember that the body is much smarter than you. You don't even have to think about breathing. You don't have to think about growing your hair. You don't have to think about beating your heart. You don't have to think about, regenerating your own body. All you have to do is get out of the way, and the body does it itself. So recognize the beauty in that, and recognize the fallacy of man trying to constantly bother this process, constantly offset this process, when all he has to do is get out of the way. It is so simple, folks. So again, to sum up, the body is a lot more intelligent than you are. Your thinking is what is producing all of the ills and the suffering of humanity, whether it's the pollution, whether it's the horrible eating habits. And all you really have to do is get out of the way. And getting out of the way means respecting the species-specific diet that was given by our design, by our code. And that design dictates whatever should be eaten should be raw and should be delicious and should be easy to obtain in nature. So potatoes are not easy to obtain. Sweet potatoes are not easy to obtain, right? What's easy to obtain is a fruit from a tree. What's easy to obtain is a leafy green. What's easy to obtain is a nut that dropped on the floor. That is what's easy. That is what is right. And when you eat those things in their respective quantities that they should be eaten, fruits being obviously the majority, then you will not irritate the body. And when the body does not have irritation, it will finally be able to focus on regenerating, rebuilding, and fixing the genetic fallacies that you have been creating through your thoughts and your actions that are very unintelligent when put against and paired next to the body's intelligence. So I leave you with that message.